Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, my name is Kashawn Hopkins. I'm an instructional technology specialist from Oklahoma Public School Resource Center. And today I am delighted to talk about YouTube as part of our Tech Talks. Additionally, I'm joined here with Kirk Bernhardt. He's our technology director. He's great. You should get to know him. And if you want to get to know either one of us, or you want to continue talking about anything we talk about in these Tech Talks or anything in and out of them, we love talking about technology and getting into the classroom and utilizing it properly. So if you want to talk, a good place to do it is through this email, techteam@opsrc.net. Additionally, if you want access to these slides, I think they're a good resource. And you can get access to them by using this link right over here. It's case sensitive. So that's spelled t.ly/lowercase o_WTZ. So you can use that to get access. So it will be at the beginning of these slides, and I also bring it up at the end of the slides here. And so, yeah, let's jump into what are we doing here? And so I wanted to talk about YouTube as it's not only just a place to consume content and media. It's been around for so long that I imagine a lot of people already know what this is kind of going in, but I know that some people struggle using it as a tool for the classroom. So I want to kind of frame it with that. I think there's lots of different applications for it and plenty of features to make it accessible and just build more content into your classroom and make it just a little bit more interactive. So yeah, I wanted to approach it with that in mind. So the way that I'm structuring this Tech Talk, first I'm going to just introduce myself and the tech team and what we're doing here, then go into a little bit of theory to kind of build the framework of what we're doing here. And so, I'll talk about the SAMR model just a little bit. Then I'm going to go into a little bit more into the tool itself, do a little bit of showcase on things that you can do with it, some suggestions for it, and then that will transition me into talking about a couple of applications for it, like what are some ways that you can think about what it would look like if you use this as a learning tool for your classroom. And then finally wrap this up. I share a couple of resources with you. I ask you to do an evaluation, I answer any questions, so should be pretty straightforward process. So with that, let's jump into it. First of all, my objective after this training, teachers will be able to integrate YouTube in their classroom to help students achieve learning goals and acquire 21st century skills. So just in case you don't know, YouTube is a video hosting platform. Yeah, and it's quite easy to integrate into your classroom as long as you're already using some online resources there. As always, whenever you're introducing technology into your classroom, be it something like just a video hosting platform, or if you're using a graphics engineering software, or if you're using VR, always keep in mind the purpose of what you're doing whenever you're using technology. And so, there's a lot of different ways to think about this, but I think the easiest way to find applications for how you're going to use it in your classroom is look at your learning goals and look at what skills students are trying to get out of that. So like, for example, this is the only one, but this is a good example, I think, is the National Education Association put out a bunch of different skills. They called them 21st century skills, kind of like an umbrella statement for different skills that would be useful for students inside of the classroom, outside of the classroom, into their future, in their careers. And one of the subsections of that are called the 4 C's, which is communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. So whenever I'm picking out tools to discuss for the Tech Talks, I try to think, how does this tool meet these 4 different skills? Because that way it will be able to apply to multiple different classrooms regardless of subject here. But as we're going through and talking about this tool, try to think about the things that you try to do in your classroom. How can this help you accomplish the goals that you set in your classroom, or how does it make it a more robust learning experience for them? So this will help you in terms of like, making sure our students learning what they're supposed to be learning. It's a good way of like establishing assessments. It's a good way of finding content to match what you're trying to do here. So I think this is a good kind of framing device for what you're going to do in your classroom with these tools. Once you're past the phase of why are you introducing technology? Another question to ask would probably be, how are you going to introduce this technology? Because you do have, there is an initial cost to putting technology in the classroom, and it's not all money. Almost as valuable, maybe even more valuable, is the time that it takes to train yourself, train your students, put things together, workshop, make updates, different things. And so I think a good place to start, it's not the only way to do that, but it's something that I would recommend because I think there's lots of resources and it's easy to understand, is the SAMR model. For this model, the idea is, what are the different ways that you can apply a piece of technology in a couple of different ways? So SAMR, it's an acronym. It stands for substitution, augmentation, modification, redefinition. So these are kind of like different tiers of how to introduce technology at different levels. Like, for example, you can use technology as a direct substitute for something you're already doing, or you could use a function of a tool to act as a direct substitute, but add a little bit of an improvement on there. You can use it to completely redefine a complete task, or you could have it create a task that didn't exist before without the piece of technology. And so I think that's a good, the kind of the bottom rung here, the modification, redefinition, that's kind of a good place to shoot for. But there's nothing necessarily wrong with the substitution, augmentation. It's just the different levels of being able to get use out of this. So I'll be using that a little bit later whenever I talk about the applications of YouTube. I'll give a couple of suggestions just to get the brain going and just to see if you could make connections between what's happening in your classroom and what I'm recommending here and showing you. Okay. Let's talk about the tool itself. I just want to answer a couple of questions and dive into what this is all about. And if you already have like a Google account, that's great because all of that's integrated together, which means if you already have a Google account, you already have a YouTube account. It's all kind of combined together. It's quite easy if you've already have some of the things set up for you. So first of all, just in case, what is it? Like I said before, it was an online video sharing platform. What can it do for your classroom? You can do things like curate a learning playlist. There's loads of videos. It's hard to count how many videos out there. Whenever you're doing a little bit of research, you could look for like channels. You could look for like news places. There's pretty much every big company, or even the small companies, they have their own sets of videos. I mean, heck, OPSRC has their own videos that we put out on there. And there's lots of wonderful resources out there. So once you find a place where there are good resources, you can start picking out ones that apply to you in your classroom. You can even take parts of them and apply it into your classroom. So I'll show you how to put together some of that. You can upload your own content. Yeah, if you like creating your own stuff. In fact, you might already be creating things, you're just not recording it. And you could be recording some of your content and putting it out there. And that way you'll be able to reuse some of your own resources. So I think that's quite a powerful function of it. Next, you can easily share between many other tools. YouTube plays really nicely with, any of the Google tools that are out there if you use Google Classroom. But since it's been around for so long, there's so many different integrations with YouTube's, which is so many different tools. And so I'll try to show a couple of those. Also, on top of that, one way to think about YouTube is a source of mobile learning. It's been around so long that it's an incredibly accessible tool. I mean, a lot of people have technology on their phones. They get connection to Wi-Fi, so it's really accessible in a lot of different ways. And so it's another way to think about it. All right, and then finally the question: where do you access it? you can access it through youtube.com, and we'll go there in a bit. So much fun. We could be here for hours and hours. But I'll be right back to that. So I'm going to do a little bit of showcase here just to show you the different things you can do with this, and just a few basic steps that I think you can do to really enhance what you're doing in your classroom. So I picked out these 5 things that I'm going to try to kind of expand on. I'm going to show you how to search for a video, apply video play features, just a couple of things that you can do. And maybe I'm hoping that I can show you something that you haven't seen yet. Show you how to upload a video, share a video, and edit a few video details. So I won't be able to go too far into that. There is a small kind of like trimmer editor in there. And if I go over something and you want to learn more about it, be sure to reach out to us. And there's also resources out there as well that I try to point out, but I'll save that for a little bit later. So let's swap over to YouTube and show a couple of things. There's already tons of things to look at over here. But this is essentially the dashboard. On my left-hand side, there's tons of buttons to resources. That's already out there. I mean, the first couple of buttons, home, explore subscriptions, get you connected to content if you don't know where to find the content. We have library all the way down to liked videos. If you find videos for yourself, they'll be stored here on the left-hand side. We have subscriptions, which is videos are typically organized under things called channels. Which is where the content gets sent down from. I mean, everybody has their own personal channel. So when you upload a video, it's connected to your account there. And right over there, I got OPSRC channel. And whenever a video comes out for a channel, if you're subscribed to it, you'll get a little notification either on like your phone or up here on the top right-hand corner. You see this little bell that says notifications. I can see when videos come out. And there are a ton more places to search for videos up here. But if you want to do it the good old-fashioned way, we can on the top middle part of your screen here. I got the search bar here. And so I could search for things like, I don't know, crash course. It's a pretty good educational resource. I think they're pretty good, small, concise videos, and tons of subjects. It's quite a good educational experience, so highly would recommend crash course on here. Or if I want to search using my voice, I can. There's a little microphone here just to make this a little more accessible. So if I click on this and then say Khan Academy, it already searched for it. I didn't have to click anything else. And boom, now I have tons of videos from Khan Academy. I think those are quite good as well. And whenever you search for a video, if you search for a specific channel, like I did just a second ago, usually the first option is the channel itself. I got Khan Academy, gives a little description, and then I could subscribe to it. So if I like a channel and I want to see more from what they do, subscribing is a good way to do it. Or if I click on the name of the channel itself, there will be links. Oh, that's lovely. There will be links to other videos, so it's quite easy to search if you find a channel that you do enjoy. But below the channel search itself, we have your videos. You have the name of the video. We have the name of the channel that it came from, so you can click on that. It's the same thing as clicking on the channel name up there. You get a little description here. Something to note is that pretty much all YouTube videos, or like the newer ones, they have captions automatically attached to them. And you'll see a little bit of that when I upload a video. You can also see that captions are on video. If you see the little icon that says CC, it's a little small, so let's see if I can zoom into there. If you see CC, that's for closed caption on there. Additionally, there are some buttons like on the right-hand corner over here of every video that I hover over. You can see these 3 little dots here. If I click on that, I can choose to add a video either to a queue, which means I'm creating kind of like an active playlist that I can kind of put together. I think this is good if you're queuing up a couple of videos to swap between. you could put it in the save for watch for later. This is kind of like a temporary playlist here. But if you want a more permanent playlist, you can put it under save to playlist. So let's say that, for example, I'm looking for this video. I highly recommend you look through the video to make sure it is content that you want to use. But if you want to save it for right now, you can click on these three dots here, click on save to playlist, and you can either click one of these boxes to save it to a playlist that already exists, or you can click plus create a new playlist, create one on the fly. I'll just call this one Khan Academy. You can set the privacy to it. So if this is just for you, private is just fine. If you want to share this playlist, like say, for example, you curate a day's worth of resources for your students. You want them to watch a couple of videos for that particular day. Maybe I might put this as unlisted. That way I can share a link with my students, and then they have access to a set of videos from me. But once I'm done here, I'll click on create. And then it even says on the bottom left-hand corner to confirm added to Khan Academy. So quite easy there. Okay, let's see what happens when I click on a video here. All right. So over here, top left-hand corner, we got the window itself for the video. On the right-hand side, we have some extra recommendations. Those are fun. Try not to get lost in there. But the things that I wanted to highlight here are the extra functions that comes with the videos. You got your standard stuff like playing the video, adjusting the volume, going to the next video. But something to keep in mind is, like, for example, in the bottom right-hand corner of this player, I have CC, which is for closed captions. I can turn that on and off. I can click this cog symbol for settings, which allows me to adjust things like playback speed. So sometimes students want to comprehend things a little faster, a little slower. I think this is really powerful tool. Just trying to get a little bit more content, trying to save a little bit more time or make things a little more accessible there. So I think that's quite good. Down over here, right below the video itself, you have the share button. I think this is good because you have a link here at the ready for you. And then you have these different tools up here that allows you to make it easy for you to share a YouTube video to Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, email, Blogger, Tumblr. There's so many different ways that you can share out these tools. YouTube plays really nice with them. Or if you click on embed, you can also get an embed code, which you can easily copy and paste, put it in a website, put it in a learning management system. So it makes it really easy for you to take this video and put it into places that you want to use it. Additionally, you got the save button. This is also a way that you can save a video to a playlist. I'm going to click that little box, and then boom, it's added to it. And another feature that it's a little bit tucked away, but I think is quite a powerful function here is if I click these three dots here next to the save button, there's a section that says open transcript. I see that this is a transcript of the subtitles. So the subtitles kind of directly feed into this. And one really neat thing about this is the fact that I can search through this transcript. And let's say I find a piece of text that I'm interested in. So this is talking about constraining the domain on this rational expression. So I can click on this and it takes me straight to that part of the video. So this was at 329, it skips to 329. If I scroll down a little bit more, maybe I want to do it at this 6 minutes. So I click on that, it goes to 6:02. So it's really interesting that you can do that. And additionally, for videos, like for example, this Khan Academy video is a bunch of different languages. So something that I can do is on the bottom left-hand corner of the transcript window, I can click on English. And if there are other languages, you could see it in there. So it's pretty great function as part of that, making videos just that much more accessible. All right. So that is how you can find content, put it together in a playlist, and share out those videos as well. If you want to access your playlist, top left-hand corner, this little 3 pancake symbol up here, right to the left of the YouTube symbol. I can click on that, and I could see my playlist in the second section here. I'm going to click on Khan Academy. There we go. And if I want to share this playlist out, I can see all the videos here. I can rearrange them if I want. If I click these 2 pancake symbols on the left-hand side of the video, I can swap these around. But if I want to share this whole playlist out, there's a little share button here on the left-hand side. I just click on that, and I could share the playlist. And I know this is a playlist link because it says playlist in the middle of the address here, and it has the list ID right next to it. So this will share this whole video playlist. It looks a little something like this. And instead of the recommendations you see on the right-hand side, I can see a little playlist player down here. So if students want to swap between videos, they can do that at the ready. Pretty nice. All right. So that is getting content that's already out there. And I highly recommend that before you decide to create something, go ahead and see if it's already out there. It could save you a lot of time just to find the video and go, okay, this is great. Start pulling it into the video. But sometimes you need to create something that's particularly for what you're doing in your classroom here. Or maybe you do search something out there and you're like, why aren't people already talking about this? So you can create your own videos. So you'll have to take it to another technology tool to bring it in. If you're already proficient in like things like Adobe Premiere, that's great. If you're not and you're just getting started out, there are things like Adobe Spark, there's Flipgrid that can help you create your videos. You can download them and then you can put them in here. In fact, that's what I've done. And if you're interested in any of those tools, we have done tech talks about them before. So take a look at those a bit later. But once you have your video file, typically it's going to be like an MP4, but it could be other formats that YouTube accepts. What you can do is on the top right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see a little video camera with the plus symbol. I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click on the first option, which is upload video. I'm going to click on that. So once you do that, you can either do one of two things. You can either, if you already have a folder opened up or some kind of icon, you can drag a video file into here. It only accepts one at a time. Or you could click on select files, find a video. I got this one called Booyah, the untold story that I created in my Adobe Flipgrid. TechTalk, I got a little TechTalk cinematic universe thing going on here. I'm connecting these stories, but I have the title here. The title's automatically going to be whatever the file name is, but you can always change it. That's fine. From here, I can start adding in details to make it a little easier for my video to find for people when they're looking at it. They have an idea of what they're looking at. And while I'm doing this, on the bottom corner of my screen, I can see that there is a progress bar, and that is letting me know when my video is ready. So while you're doing all of these changes, it's automatically processing and uploading the video for you. So it's pretty nice in that aspect. You can even navigate away from this, and it's fine. But I want to put some details on here so people can start accessing my video. So got my title, got my description. I could put it in there. You have a thumbnail, which there are no slides here right now, but typically you can take slides from your video and put it in here. And I could upload a thumbnail if I'd like. That's fine. But I'm going to leave that alone. You can automatically put video into a playlist that you've created or a new one like before. I'm just going to dump it in my Khan Academy one. Maybe it might be useful there. But something to keep in mind that is required to do is set an audience, which is kind of like your permissions in a way. They ask the question, is this video made for kids? And so this is important to take a look at. I highly recommend, if you've never done this before, look at the section that says what content's made for kids. It's a whole article dedicated to whether or not you should say it's for kids or not. I would recommend putting it and just saying, yes, it's made for kids, just to get that little bit of extra protection on there. But take a look at it for yourself. And I think that would be quite useful. Oh, I see that my thumbnails have come up, so I can click on either one of those, and this is what would show up when people look at my videos here. The next thing, so you can move yourself on the very top part of this video. I'm on my detail section right now. I'm going to skip to visibility. So one thing to keep in mind is how are people going to access your video? So in this case, you can have it one of three ways. You can either say it's a private video that really only you are going to watch, or people you choose to watch the video, so you can share the link. So this is the most restrictive. This is just typically only you're watching. Unlisted means that you can share a link. People can enjoy your video as long as they have that link. And if the link is put in other places, like you put it on Google Classroom or through an email, people can watch your video. So this is kind of like, I think this is a nice default for videos that you know are already good. If you feel like it needs more editing, private's where you want to go. And then finally, public, just anyone, people can search for your video and find it on here. So I think that's pretty good. I'm going to leave this as enlisted. This is kind of a nice middle ground for me. So if people come to my channel, if they're looking for the video and they have a link, they can find it. If not, I can either make it public or private. And I'm going to save this for now. And one nice thing that YouTube already does when you have this video up is it says, all right, now that you have it up, are you going to share it? And it gives you a place to copy the link or share it on social media, either one of those. Oh yeah, I forgot about some of these. This is great. All right. So yeah, this is where my video lives. It's in this little content section. And if I wanted to make any changes to it, I can. There's a couple of buttons that you can make that happen, but I'll save that for another time. I think that is quite good. If you ever want to access your videos, go to the top right-hand corner and click on your little face, whatever your account symbol is. I'm going to click on the count button, and then I can click on your channel, and I should see my videos. Oh, no, I need to adjust the permissions on there. But yeah, you can get your videos from there. Or I could go to YouTube Studio. I believe it's there as well. Yeah, there it is, YouTube Studio, and then content. That's where it should go. All right. Let's talk just about a couple of applications. I want you to think about your classroom and how we can use this tool and see how any of these might fit in there. Like, for example, you can use YouTube as a substitution style activity. So this is like, you know, simply just share a video and then use that to either introduce a topic or spark a discussion. I think these videos, there's tons and tons of content out there. You have to weed through and find the quality ones. But once you find a channel that has a good voice, that puts out quality videos, it makes it that much more easier to look for them. So I think that's a good substitution activity. An augmentation one, just taking advantage of the features here, is uploading a showcase of students' work. So you can make recordings and upload on there, get the permission from the students. But yeah, just put out there things out there just to say, hey, this is what we're doing in our classroom. Check it out. Man, I think that's good. The next is a modification style activity. If you are assembling a playlist, you can do something like flipping a classroom. The idea is introducing content to the students, have them work on it kind of in their own time, and then spend a majority of the classroom time doing applications, doing discussions, putting time towards projects. And so this does require a lot of you know, front loading the content and building it and finding itself. But once you've done kind of the front work, you can spend a lot more of your time in your classroom doing application style activities. So I think that's worth your time and doing if you got it. And then finally, a redefinition style activity would be having students create their own YouTube videos and put their voice out there. I'm all for just increasing that digital literacy by giving students opportunities to express themselves and reach out to a broader community. YouTube has been around for a long time, so there's ways that you can, you know, comment on videos and reach out there. And it's a good opportunity to talk about being a good digital citizen. So I think that's a good one right there. All right, Fortunately, I'm out of time. I would love to keep talking about this, but let me just wrap this up with a few things. My last couple of slides here are dedicated to sharing resources out there. I got a page dedicated specifically for YouTube. Just take a look through those. I think they're good. I have some resources dedicated to the SAMR model. So, you know, even if you don't get a whole lot out of this particular presentation, that's fine. I think if you do take away SAMR, at least you can apply to other technology tools, just to make sure that you're applying technology in an effective way. And then finally, this page over here, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time and to listen to me talk about these tools. I look forward to talking about them more in the future, but just a few more things that I want to highlight here before I wrap it up. The very first thing is please take an opportunity to go into the evaluation. This link is also case sensitive, so that's t.ly/lowercase GGZ uppercase K. So it's very short. It won't take you all that long. Click a couple of buttons, fill some small answers. It's a one-pager submit, and it helps us out so much, and I appreciate it. Just in case you've forgotten, you're talking to Kashawn Hopkins. Kurt Bernhardt is also here. Together we make the technology team. Reach out to us at techteam@opsrc.net. I got a link to the slides here. And also, please take a moment to check this website out. It's opsrc.net/techtalks. You have access to our other tech talks. This will be up there. We'll have more up there in the future, hopefully, and we have our other presentations as well. So if you're looking for a way to, you know, create video content, I got Flipgrid and Adobe Spark up here. And if you're interested in these other things like creating graphics, we got Adobe Spark Post, Google Slides, Book Creator, Seesaw, and hopefully some more fun stuff up there later. And if you got a suggestion, we have a Google form for that as well. So we would love to hear about technology tools that you're using. That way we can share these resources to the other people in our community. All right. With that, thank you so much. I hope everybody has a wonderful morning.